I would say a bit disappointing closing. If you look at Nifty, 10,322 is where it's about to close. And if you look at the intraday movement, we saw the selling coming exactly from the level that we had seen on Friday as well. So 10,350 we failed to cross today as well. Even Bank Nifty got sold off from day's high. If you look at mid cap and small cap at one point of time, 70% stocks in market were in positive. But finally, if you look at the closing, you'll see mid cap closing with marginal gains of just 22, 23 points, 56 points on small cap. So I think from day's high, even mid cap and small cap saw significant sell-off. If you look at some of the index movers, pharma was the top performing sector without any doubts. Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma and Cipla all doing well, also participating were Bharti, Bajaj Auto. RIL was the most significant heavyweight. I'm sure it will figure in the list of top contributors. The segments that were kind of silent were FMCG like HUL, Infosys, Maruti, ICICI Bank. These are some of the biggies that didn't quite participate, even HDFC. On the negative side, contribution comes from Kotak Mahindra, Coal India and ITC. Also TCS, that's down around 1% or so. So these are some of the key movers.
Well, Pradeep, there were a lot of themes which actually played out in today's session. And let me start off with the tea companies. McLeod Russell was up as much as 12% towards the close. We did speak to the management. The rise that you've seen for the tea companies today is on account of higher tea prices. Rossell India was up 7%, but this has closed off day's high. Goodrick also registered gains of about nearly 5.5%. The other pocket which did well were the tire makers. So you've got stocks like CEAT up 3.5%, and you also had stocks like MRF as well as Apollo Tyres. Sorry, that's Apollo Hospital there on your screen. It should be Apollo Tyres. So these three stocks saw good gains. The entire pharma pack was up and about. Besides the large cap stocks, you also had stocks like Wockhardt, Newland Laboratories and Torrent Pharma, which registered strong gains, and clearly pharma was the top gainer for today. In terms of the stocks which did not do that well, Shree Cement, second straight day of fall coming there, and also Jet Airways, we've been talking about this counter today, down 8%. It's an F&O ban. Probably you saw some bit of profit booking or long unwinding which came about. And finally, you also had stocks like L&T Finance Holdings, which saw cut off as much as closer to 5% in today's trade, Neeraj.
Well, I think we've outlined almost everything that needs to be told, but just a quick wrap of what's really moving around the index. Reliance still at the heart of the move on the upside, so still continue to dominate trade, 10 points higher today. Some bit of traction that comes in from pharma in the session, so the likes of Dr. Reddy's Lab and Sun Pharma participating well, and that led to the index doing very well. So 57 points for the gainers. Some losers, ITC, Ho-Hum, TCS was an exception to the IT rule today. I think most IT names did reasonably okay. TCS could not do that, and Larsen & Toubro, a small blip. But otherwise, while it was a disappointing close, considering how well we were trading for most part of the trading day, you'd probably argue that we still have a day in the green, while the rest of the world is having a tick of red. So that's probably not a bad sign. Just lastly, get you the GD function on the terminal and just show you what are the stocks that have moved around with good volumes. Needless to say, Dr. Reddy's features right up there. So substantially high volumes compared to the 20-day average for Dr. Reddy's. Let the camera zoom in here and you will see what I'm talking about. So Dr. Reddy's, big move there. Sun Pharma, some volume uptick that came in. Adani Port and SEZ, again, second day in a trot, features in the list of the high volume stocks on the index. So those are a few names in between which have done reasonably okay on the index, and by and large it's all about Reliance Industries, what it did today on the gaining side, pharma, what it did today on the gaining side, and some bit of losses that came in to companies like TCS. But final thoughts from our experts. The Nifty Bank, Srikanth, was an interesting mover today. Virtually did not participate, ended the day very, very flat until the expiry. Is there a trade that you have on the Nifty Bank?
I think, the overall formation of Bank Nifty is still bullish. After opening up with a gap on Friday, it is consolidating, and it is forming a range of 25,900 on the high side and 25,700, 650 on the downside. So till the Bank Nifty is not breaking this range, I think Bank Nifty is still into strong hands. And the best part is that today it is closing very close to its lower boundary Index also like reversed from its highest level and closed almost today's lowest level. So I'm of the view that tomorrow, if we see again, if there is any sustenance around these levels, then one should definitely look for adding some long positions, because finally Bank Nifty is heading for the levels of 26,150, 26,200 based on overall formation, and Nifty, which is heading for 10,400, is now closing at 10,325, but having very good support close to 10,300. So overall, I think Bank Nifty is still bullish, but yes, currently it is down, and if there is any lower opening in tomorrow's date, we should look for adding some long position.
Well, towards the end, you had the India Volatility Index, which closed very close to the mark of 14. If you could just pull up the intraday chart, there you go, up almost 2%, 13.7. Throughout the day, we did see the cool-off coming about for the India VIX, and also the 10,300 put. Remember, when we started the show, had added nearly 15 to 16 lakh shares. That saw unwinding in just last hour of trade, and towards the end, you saw the open interest was up only about 8.7 lakh shares.